Good evening, everybody. Hello again. New session of the sessions that been held by the Eco Training Center Sweden about the SDGs. Today, we are going to talk about SDG number 9. I'm so pleased, I'm so honored to welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen. I also to welcome our core speakers for this night, Dr. Anigwa Ikishawa Agustina and Ms. Ekta Abrol. Ms. Anigwa, sorry, Dr. Anigwa he is Director Nobles and Rescue Marshal, Rescue Superintendent General, RG. He is also UN World Environmental Hero, World Best Teachers Award, and International Coordinator, Environmental Conservation Organization, Eco Sweden, etc., relationship coach and family therapist. He has the doctorate honorary from Eco Training Center, Sweden. He is also International Nobel Ambassador and Rescue Marshal, Director for Nobel Ambassadors and Rescue Marshal. There is a long honors and long titles for Dr. Anigwa. Also, he is Chairman Board of Advisory, UNASU in Nigeria, and Scientific Advisory Board member, DK International Rescue Foundation in India, Global Peace Foundation Peace Ambassador from United Arab Emirates, and others and others. Welcome, Dr. Anigwa. And the other also distinguished speaker, Ms. Ekta Abrol from India. Ms. Ekta is an enthusiastic educator with an experience of 21 years at City Montessori School, Campbell Road Campus, Lucknow. She's served as academic counselor for IGNO. She is seeking to leverage middle-level leadership to incorporate 21st century skills in education and design skills to enhance learning abilities. And she is looking to boost students' satisfactions and students' performance. You are most welcome, Ms. Ekta. As I said, we will begin.
Thank you so much.
Talking about SDG number 9, build resilience infrastructure, promote sustainable industrializations and foster innovations. This title is very, I think, distinguished, and I think we'll have more information from our speakers. The floor of yours, Dr. Anigwa, to begin.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamal. I appreciate everybody. I hope I'm audible enough.
You are welcome.
Am I audible enough, Dr. Kama?
Not
okay.
Not so
Can I
much.
go on?
Yes, go on, please. You have co-host now.
Okay. Talking of the 17 SDGs, today we want to specify on goal 9. And my co-presenter, Dr. Hector Abdul, I welcome you in a special way. And other listeners around the world. And let us do justice to this SDG 9 today by following it gradually, though we don't have enough time, but we manage what we have. Sustainable Development Goal 9 is about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And it's one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. SDG 9 aims to build resilience infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. I think Dr. Hector,
Yes, sir.
can you please share can you please start sharing the screen, move on from there?
Sure, sure. Just give me a moment.
Can we go on? Yeah. We believe that a goal without a plan is just a wish. And that is why Sustainable Development Goal 9, specifically as a hub of the whole 17 Sustainable Development Goal, which is what we are looking at, that prompted United Nations to innovate this very wonderful move. As I've said, it is about industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and it's one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. And SDG 9 has 8 targets. We will focus on the target, and those targets are 8. And progress is measured by 12 indicators. And the first 5 targets are outcome targets. Develop sustainable resilience and inclusive infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, increase access to financial services and the markets, upgrade all industries and infrastructures for sustainability, enhance research and upgrade industrial technologies. The remaining 3 that are categorized A, B, and the C, their means is of achieving targets, facilitate industries infrastructure, develop development for developing countries, support domestic technology development and industrial diversification, universal access to information and communication technology. And the goal has interlinked with other SDGs. Why industrialization is connected to SDG 8, decent work and the economic growth. And SDG 11 is connected to sustainable cities and communities. Also, innovation and new skill development will help raise SDG 2, that is zero hunger. And SDG 3, which is clean water and the sanitation. Also SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. And SDG 11, that is sustainable cities and the communities. All are focusing on this SDG 9. In 2019, 14% of the world workers were employed in manufacturing activities. This percentage has not changed much since 2000. The share of manufacturing employment was the largest in Eastern and Southeastern Asia, about 18%. And the smallest in sub-Saharan Africa is 6%. And then millions of people are still unable to access the internet due to cost coverage and the other reasons. It is estimated that just 53.4% of the world's population are currently internet users. Estimates suggest that by the end of 2020, the world will have reached just 57% global internet use and the 23% in least developed country, but we see that we have obstacle in 2020 or 2019 because of the pandemic. Then we are still missing target of 9.C, that is by a wide margin. And that is why this very goal 9 have a mission statement, a special mission statement. And the mission statement is build residence infrastructure, promote inclusive and the sustainable industrialization, and the foster innovation. That is the goal statement for goal 9. Okay, we'll go forward. When we look at the picture, you will see today we have gathered to discuss the United Nations 17 Sustainable Goals, SDGs, and to reflect upon the need for urgent actions. But here we are particularizing on goal 9. And the background of this very goal 9 is the aim of attaining inclusive and sustainable industrialization. It is to unleash dynamic and competitive economic forces that generate employment and income. This goal includes striving for resilience, that's engineering and construction, and urban resilience. SDG 9 recognizes the humanity ability to connect and communicate effectively, move people and things efficiently, and develop new skills, industries, and technologies. It's really crucial in overcoming the many interlinked economic and social and environmental challenges in the 21st century. In order to have a successful community, a functioning and strong infrastructure has to be in place as it is basic requirements. SDG 9 is all about promoting innovation and the sustainable technologies and ensuring equal and universal access to information and financial markets. And the technological development in infrastructure is what gives rise to a sustainable society. This is expected to create prosperity and the jobs and build stable and the prosperous societies across the globe. If there is infrastructure, good infrastructure that touches everywhere, everybody will have access to each country, and the individual will be touched by the individual according to their skills and potentials. This will depend on infrastructure, more especially building connectivity between country and country, between state and state. The key emphasis on development, reliability, and sustainable infrastructure solutions that support economic development, as well as human well-being, while also ensuring financial affordability. The goal aims at ensuring every society in the world possesses good infrastructure. Achieving SDG 9 will require significant financial and political will. Key challenges include improving internet access in developing countries, inadequate transport, particularly in landlocked development countries, and the disparity of research and development investment and the number of researchers in developing countries when compared to developed countries. So we have a vast work to do and look into it in this very goal 9, very, very important. It is very, very important. And we have to look into the targets and the indicators and the progress in order to move forward. Targets or 8 targets is explanation to those targets. And so we look into the picture, how the world still have a long.
So may I continue?
Yes, please. Yes, please, Ms.
However, the world still has a long way to go to fully tap this potential. Least developed countries in particular need to accelerate the development of their manufacturing sector so that they can meet the 2030 target and scale up investment in scientific research and innovation. This means that the focus area is the scientific research and innovation so that they can boost up the whole research, the whole process of research, the investment and innovations in order to achieve the target in 2030. Now, when we talk about it, one of the most important prospect is why is SDG 9 so important? We have so many SDGs. We keep on talking about SDG 1, SDG 2. But why is SDG 9 equally important when it's just talking about industries, renovation, revolution? Sustainable Development Goal 9 seeks to build resilient infrastructure. That means an infrastructure that is capable of promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization. I mean, not just growing up the industries, not just working on improvement of the economy, as well as fostering innovation that can drive economic growth, as well as create job opportunities and hence reduce the income poverty. That means per capita income is also raised. The major objective is to have a set of norms so that everyone has money in his hand at the end of the day. No one has his hand empty at the end of the day. Now, how can we achieve this goal? We are talking about goals, we are talking about targets, we're talking about the efforts made by all the countries, developed, underdeveloped, as well as developing. But what are we actually doing to achieve the goal? Now, when we realize what do we require, what is our basic requirement to have resources, to enhance the available resources, we require to overcome all the constraints in the field of resources, building, strengthening, developing countries' capacities, as well as exploring more and more and new innovative ways to solve the challenges which we are facing in the path of development, so that we can promote sustainable industrialization, foster innovation, as well as build a resilient infrastructure. A functioning and resilient infrastructure is the foundation of every successful community. That means the most basic requirement is to build up a strong infrastructure, an infrastructure which can lay the foundation and act as the building block, or we can say the cornerstone on which the economy of a country can be built. Now, in order to meet the future challenges, our industries and infrastructure needs to be upgraded. It's not just always building new things. It's also upgrading and regrading, we can say skilling, upskilling and reskilling the available resources. Because if we are just going to invest everything in building new, what's going to happen? What we have already created. So we need to upskill and reskill. I have gone across a research few days back. It says that in the present scenario, 85 million jobs are going to vanish. They're going to fade off. But at the same moment, by 2030, they are going to build up 97,000 million more jobs. So from where are these jobs coming? From where is this infrastructure coming? because we are reskilling and upskilling. And now we can't say that Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest has gone back. Now it's you have to prove your fitness every day to survive. It is a cost of survival. So until and unless you upskill and reskill, you will not be able to survive. To meet future challenges, our industries and infrastructure must be upgraded, and we need to promote more and more innovations to help the sustainable technologies as well as ensure equal and universal access to information in financial markets. This means that it should not be like that only developed countries are taking all the cream. Each and every sector, all set of countries should have equal opportunities and universal access to the technology, to the information, to the financial markets, so that they can upgrade themselves in terms of prosperity, they can create more jobs, and they can make sure that we build a stable and more prosperous society all across the globe. Yes, I think Dr. Anghu has joined. Over to Mr. Anghu. Dr. Anghu, are you there?
Mr. Angwa, if you want to complete for a while, okay. Otherwise, we'll go on with Mrs. Ikta. Okay, go on, please. Mr. Angwa, maybe can't hear us.
So I'll share a quiz. I'll share a quiz in the chat box.
Very nice. Would you please all click on the link sent by Ms. Ikta in the chat box? Yes, there is a quiz about SDG number 9.
Is everyone able to click on the link?
I think it's okay.
I'll just share the link once again.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Anghu is back.
Okay, Dr. Akbar.
Hello.
Hello.
Ms. Akta, I think we need to log in with our own account to see the quiz and to answer it. I tried to do it. It asked me to log in for Google account like this. It mean
Okay.
to register.
Just let me find it out, because I keep on playing this quiz with my students and they are able to do it. ये बताओ?
Okay, Mr. Angwa. Mr. Angwa,
Yes.
Mr. Angwa, can you complete, please, while solving this problem by Ms. Akhtar? We lost Mr. Angwa again. We lost Mr. Angwa again. No, now you can talk about the presentation. Would you please? Ms. Akhtar, I think we can do it here after finishing from Dr. Angwa. We can do this quiz after finishing from Dr. Angwa. Would you please?
Please share the slides.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Angwa.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Angwa. Would you please
Hello?
go ahead?
Okay, can I continue?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
please, you can continue.
As I was saying, okay. As I was saying before, okay. Okay, thank you. Then we have looked into the background, and now we go to the targets and the indicators and the progress. The United Nations believe everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. The following are the 8 targets to create action: build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Each target includes one or more indicators that measure the achieved progress. In SDG 9.1, the target is to develop sustainable resilience and the inclusive infrastructures. And this is develop quality, reliable, sustainable, and the resilient infrastructure, including regional and transborder infrastructure to support economic development and the human well-being, with a focus on affordable and fair access for all. In this very target 1 of 9, we have 2 indicators. One of the indicators is proportion of the rural population who live within 2 kilometers all season roads. Second one is the passenger and the freight volumes by mode of transport. As I was saying before, if we can have access roads, you know that no country is far from other, and then local productions from the manufacturers will be quickly transported from one country to the other, from one area to the other. And then the innovation we are aspiring or other things will follow. Because I think this very infrastructure is the main thing that holds interstate business. Like here in Nigeria, we have a lot of roads that are not connected. And because of that, even local farmers and local producers cannot be able to transport their products. And then even if it is transported, it is going to be costly, more than expected. But here we have indicated. Then the second of the target is target 9.2, which is promote inclusive and the sustainable industrialization. Industrialization is very, very important if goal 9 is going to be achieved. I'm not talking about the big industries. Now, industry have to start from a small scale industry. And if the small industrialists are not encouraged, they will not go further. And for them to be patronized and be encouraged, their product must go to the market. And that is also depending on the infrastructure. Then, to promote this inclusive and sustainable industrialization, by the year 2020-30, to raise significantly the industry share of employment and the GDP in line with national circumstances, as well as to double its share in least developed countries. This target has two indicators. This target 9.2. And the indicator, one of the indicators is manufacturing value added as proportion of GDP and the per capita. And the second one is manufacturing employment as a proportion of total employment. So if there is a very good industrialization and the infrastructure, everybody will have something to do. There will be no dull mind and there will be no lazy people. Every hands will be on the desk. And then manufacturing is a major source of employment. In 2016, the least developed countries had the less manufacturing value added per capita. The figure for Europe and North America was $4,621 about, compared to about $100 in the least developed countries. The manufacturing of high technology products contributes to 80% to total manufacturing output in industrialized economy, but barely 10% in the least developed countries. Why? Okay, let's go forward. In 2019, 14% of the world's workers were employed in manufacturing activities. This percentage has not changed much since 2000. The share of manufacturing employment was the largest in Eastern and the Southeastern Asia, 18%, and the smallest in Sub-African Sahara Africa, just 6%. The industry's employment in the world hasn't drastically changed. In 1991, the industry's employment made up around 21% of total employment in the world, while in 2017, the industry's employment made up 22% of total employment in the world. Manufacturing employment is growing mostly in developing countries. Why it declines in developed countries? I don't know why. Maybe they want to relax. No. Metamorphosis is the act of a living thing. And that is why this very 17 goals. Because if these 17 goals is achieved by 2030, everywhere in the world we have a new look. And even God will be happy with humanity. But developed countries is like they are relaxed. In Germany, the manufacturing employment made up 47% of total employment in 1991. Why it declined to 27% of total employment in 2017? But in Kenya, that is less developed country or developing country, the manufacturing employment made up 6% of total employment and has grown by 2 percentage points to 8 in 2017. So they have 2%. But the big man lose many to something percent. So we thank the people of Kenya for that, and we pray that they will continue. Global growth in manufacturing had already steadily declined even through the outbreak of COVID-19, which is excuse for many people and many countries now. The pandemic is hitting manufacturing industries hard and the causing disruption in global value chains and the supply of products. Well, it is a pity. But the aviation industry has been the most hit with a reduction of travel passengers by 51% in the year 2020. Then let's look into target 3 of goal 9, which is increase access to financial services and the markets. increase the access of small-scale industry and other enterprises, particularly in developing countries, to financial services, including affordable credit and their integration into value chain and markets. This point 3 of Goal 9 have two indicators. One is proportion of scale industry in total industry value added. And the second one is proportion of small scale industry with a loan or line credit, which will help everybody. I know if small manufacturers are giving some loan, helping hands, they will do better than what they have been doing before. Because of time, let's rush down to target 4 of Goal 9, which is upgrade all industries and infrastructures for sustainability. By 2030, upgrade infrastructure and retrofit industries to make them sustainable with increased resource use efficiency and the great adoption of clean and environmental sound technologies and industries processes, with all countries taking action in accordance with their respective capabilities. Everybody, all countries, let everybody wake up. No matter whatsoever you can do, or no matter your weakness, there is strength in you. Whereby those that are producing matches, we produce matches. Those that are producing shoe footwears, we do it. Let there be innovation into it, bringing out in models, diversifying abilities, diversifying ideas. Very, very important. Our people used to say, let small fish bring small firewood and let the big fish bring big firewood. So there is no credit for the developed countries when they are declining from industries because they're supposed to go higher than now. This target has one indicator, which is the CO2 emission per unit of value added. Carbon dioxide emission, very, very important. This indicator is measured as kilograms of carbon dioxide emitted per dollar of global domestic products, GDP. After 3 years of stability, global carbon dioxide emission from fuel combustion started to rise again in 2017, reaching 32.8 billion tons, supported by economic growth and a slowdown of efficiency improvements. However, the intensity of global carbon dioxide emission has declined by nearly 1/4 since 2000, showing a general decoupling of carbon dioxide emission from GDP growth. The same trend was visible in manufacturing industries after 2010, with global manufacturing intensity falling at an average annual rate of 3% until 2017. Globally, investment in research and development as proportion of GDP. Let us move to target 5 of Goal 9, which is enhance research and upgrade industrial technologies. Enhancing scientific research, upgrade the technological capabilities of industrial sector in all countries, in particular developing countries, including by 2030, encouraging innovation and the substantially increasing the number of research and development workers per 1 million people, and public and private research and develop spending. And the indicators to this very target is research and development expenditure as a proportion of GDP. The second one is number of research in full-time equivalent per million inhabitants. The number of research per 1 million inhabitants has increased from 1,018,000 in 2010 to 1,368,000 in 2018, ranging widely from 3.372 in Europe and 4.432 in Northern America to only 124 in Sub-Saharan Africa. Africa need help, please. Nigeria need help. In addition, women represented only 30% of global researchers in 2015. So women have to wake up because they are waking up with tackle the gender equality. You know, gender equality cannot be achieved by mouth. It is by action. So women, I challenge all the women, make it up. The potential in the many women is more than of that very men. Let there be competition of researchers in research and industry. By 2018, women represented 33% of all researchers, although data are missing from some of the most populous countries. We go forward. Universally, investment in research and development as a proportion of GDP has increased from 1.5% in 2000 to 1.7% in 2015, and remained almost unchanged in 2017, but was only less. Hello, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Hello,
Go on.
Kamal.
Yes, sir,
please.
you are
Go
very
Hello, Kamal.
perfectly audible.
Okay. Okay, can I go on? Okay. By 2018, research and development constituted an average of 1.79% of the global GDP, according to the UNESCO Institute for Statistics. Although research expenditure rose in most regions between 2014 and 2018, 80% of countries were still invested less than 1% of GDP in research and development by 2018. The G20 countries still accounted for 9/10 of research expenditure, researchers, publications, and the patents. In some cases, the researcher population rose faster than related expenditure, leaving less funding available to each researcher.
بالضبط كده.
And then commitment
كان عندك
to SDG
ولد كان هنا دايما
9.5 have not spurred and the increase in reported data. On the contrary, a total of 99 countries reported data on domestic investment in research in 2015, but only 69 countries in 2018. Similarly, 59 countries recorded the number of researchers in full-time equivalents in 2018, down to 90 countries in 2015. Then let us look to the remaining 3 targets. That is from SDG 9. The A, facilitates sustainable infrastructure development for developing countries. Infrastructure development for developing countries. Developing countries need to be helped. Facilitate sustainable and resilient infrastructure development in developing countries through enhanced financial, technological, and technical support to Africa countries. Least developed countries
You are muted, Mr. Engwa. You are muted. Mr. Engwa.
Assistance. Hello, I can hear you.
Yes.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes. Okay now.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, time up.
You are muted now. You are muted.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, can I go on now?
Yes, please.
Hello? Okay.
Yes,
Plus other official flows to infrastructure.
In a brief, please, because we don't have enough time.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I go on. Hello, Kamal. Hello, Kamal.
Yes, please. We are hearing.
Okay, I'm moving forward. Then the total official flow to economic infrastructure in developing countries reaches 6.1 billion in 2018, an increase of 33% in real terms from 2010. The main sectors assisted were transport, that's $22.8 billion, and the energy, $20.3 billion. Let us look at the goal 9B, that is support domestic technology development and industrial diversification. Come, please. Industrial diversification. Support domestic technology development, research, and innovation in developing countries, including by ensuring a conducive policy environment for inter alia, industrial diversification and value addition to commodities. And then in this very target has an indicator, and the indicator is a proportion of medium and high tech industry, value added in total value added. Then higher values indicate that a country's industry sector is more focused on high tech and innovation products. As of 2017, the share of medium, high, and high technology goods in world's manufacturing production reached nearly 45% medium high, and the high technology products continue to dominate manufacturing products in developed regions, reaching 49% in 2017, compared with 9% in least developed countries. So if these goals, 17 goals will be achieved, everybody around the world must work hard, despite the obstacles of COVID-19. There is still hope. Then goal 9C, universal access to information and communication technology. Significantly increased access to information and communication technology, and they strive to provide universal and affordable access to the internet in least developed countries by 2020. So developing countries need help as far as communication technology is concerned, because our technology is very, very important. That is the innovative. Innovation we are talking about is all about technology, which will help everybody to talk and link to anybody I want to link. Without this very technology, I wouldn't have been talking to you now. And me now coming in contact with Eco Sweden is about technology. Yes, you never see me completely, you just see me on screen, and you know my name on screen. So without this very technology reaching to me, I cannot be able to talk to you. And then we discuss even business through it. This target has one indicator, and it is the proportion of population covered by a mobile network by technology. There are two technology types featured for this very indicator: the number of mobile cell phone subscriptions per 100 people, and the share of given population using the internet or any device, on any device. The mobile cellular signal coverage is this target indicator and has improved a great deal in previously unconnected areas of the globe. 85% of people now live in covered area planet-wide. 95% of the population was covered in 2017. As of 2020, nearly the entire world population lives lives in an area covered by a mobile network. It is established that in 2019, 97% thereof was covered by at least a 2G network, with 82% covered by at least a long-term evolution network. The effect of COVID-19 have delayed that. But there are many parts of the world that still lack access to mobile broadband networks, and infrastructure places an outsized economic constraint on developing countries. Millions of people are still unable to access the internet due to cost, coverage, and other reasons. It is estimated that just 53% of the world population are currently internet users. Estimates suggest that by the end of 2020, the world will have reached just 57% global internet used, and 23% in least developed countries, missing target 9.C by a wide margin. Although ensuring universal internet access remains a goal itself, there is increased evidence that digitization and the datafication of society and economy might contribute to achieving other SDGs as well. Let us look into the custodian agencies of this very goal 9. Because our United Nations did not just consult and say, they have agencies who will take care of them, who will make it possible, who will help to see that it's possible. And number 1 is the World Bank. Second one is for indicator 9.1.1 the World Bank is in charge. Indicator 9.1.2, International Civil Aviation Organization and the International Transport Forum Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Both indicators under target 9.2 and for indicator 9.3.1 and indicator 9B, United Nations Industrial Development Organization and UNIDO. They are the agencies. Then for indicator 9.32, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, and the World Bank, they are the agents. Then target 9.4, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, and the International Energy Agency, IEA. Then for target 9.5, UNESCO Institute for Statistics. Therefore, target 9A.1, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And target 9C, but 1, International Telecommunication Union. In these very links, SDG 9, like every other SDGs, are interwoven with others. The partnership and tools are indicative of the importance that organizations and the governments are placing on inter alia innovation and digital connectivity and on advancing are critical to ensure that the SDGs are implemented in all parts of the globe, especially in more vulnerable regions and countries such as developed countries. To round up, I can say that achieving this SDG as SDG, we promote research in the field of sustainability. So SDG 4 also have connectivity to SDG 9, so all supposed to be achieved in order to help others, industries and infrastructure, and we help develop new breakthrough in research of technology geared toward achieving sustainability. In addition, resilience infrastructure promotion, inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and the fostering innovation contribute to SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. That is where the power is. So I have to thank you here as I still try to touch about the challenges of this very goal 9. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020, the world manufacturing growth was said to be declining. So we will not lay all the blame on COVID-19. The pandemic hit industries hard and they caused disruption in value chains of goods and their supply, and has affected the digitization of business and the service such as video conferencing, healthcare, teleworking, etc. Besides, the pandemic has also hit the air transport industry. I remember it was through the pandemic that the air ticket or airfare come down because there was no passenger, and many aircraft were parked in the airport. As border closures and the limited international seating capacity have resulted in estimated losses in the millions. It's also important to note that countries that had been on track on SDG 9 had an advantage when the pandemic hit because the smartphones and the internet connections, there was easier access to communications to enforce the containment measures. So even as a pandemic acted destructively. At the same time, there are things that pandemic repairs. Pandemic empowers and give more access or more time to people who don't have time to go into internet. And through that, they make a lot of friends and they get some connections and have many ideas that have been packed in internet without anybody reading and knowing about it. And at the same time, I can say that workforce increases because many women who cannot get pregnant because their husband is a workaholic, they have their husband in their disposal, and then they can conceive and begin to bear more children. And this more children is a proof that tomorrow many people will be in the world once again. As I hand over to my colleague Tal to continue and summarize all. Thank you all. May God bless you and replenish you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nigwa, for the informative presentation. Very rich information and facts. And thank you, Ms. Ekta, for as well for your presentations. And we have about 5 minutes just for questions. If anybody has any question, would you please go ahead. Mr. Sharif, you mentioned many things about your projects related to the green industry or like this. Would you please elaborate for a while?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal. It's my wonderful pleasure today to introduce myself here because last few sessions I have joined, but due to some unavoidable conditions, I could not talk. But it's very nice to be here today, and I have learned many things from Dr. Anagu. And the speaker, the Ekta Abroy also. So I have learned a lot today. And actually in Bangladesh, you know, we are much more aggressive, and we are actually have done a very good job in MDG. So we are also working for SDG implementations in the action-oriented way. Right now in our Bangladesh, we have implemented SDGs 17 goals in a village, so that you can see the 17 goals. It will be visible, measurable, implementable in a same spot. So in the industrial model village, we have selected one industry where they are collecting the rainwaters to save the planet, to save the groundwater. So they are harvesting the rainwaters for their productions, for the resilience and the environment, save the environment. So they have also installed the solar system for electricity to the total rooftop on their factories. So in that way, they are making electricity for their factories, and their savings our other the power energy, and simultaneously they are also harvesting water for saving the groundwater, and they have made a very nice and beautiful environments with the green environments during that beside the factories. And inside the factory they have 18,000 workers, so they are also taking care of their lifestyles for during the COVID and the pre-COVID and before COVID. They are actually giving them some orientations for health and precautions for taking care of their health. So in this way, we are actually implementing the industrial resilience and the new normal living style for the workers during COVID. So we are hoping to complete our projects so that it will be a model for the global industrialists. So very soon, inshallah, we are actually thinking to come up to the public to introduce this industry as the SDG model industrial village very soon. So I am very much glad today to thank you, Mr. Kamal, and the speakers today for their wonderful presentations. I am inviting all of you to visit our SDG model village as well as our industry, SDG industrial model village. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharif, for your contributions. Okay, in the end of this session, I want to thank you all for your contributions, and special thanks for Dr. Nigwa and for Ms. Ekta Abrol.
Thank you so much, sir.
Waiting you next Sunday, inshallah.
Thank you, Kamal.
Thank you and goodbye.
Hello, Nada. I
Hello,
can see few
hello.
faces
Hello.
How are you all? Nice presentation. Congratulations.
here. Thank you
It
so
was
much.
excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you on Sunday.
Inshallah.
Ekta.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
My big auntie. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.